Hey everybody, Alex here with another episode of Momentum Charting. Today we are going to be getting into the chart of Bitcoin, and I am going to be asking the question, are we indeed mid-cycle right now on Bitcoin, like you've been hearing and like everyone else keeps saying? But before we do that, quickly, if you would just go ahead, go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Doing those two things will make sure that YouTube knows you want to see my next update on the Bitcoin chart. After that, hit the like button. All three of those, you will get updates consistently on all my Bitcoin, all my crypto updates, and the YouTube algorithm will thank you, and I thank you as well. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive here into the chart of Bitcoin. I am on the BLX, which obviously is the Brave New Coin Liquid Index, which has pricing data going back all the way to the inception of Bitcoin. Well, not quite. That was in 2009, 2010, but some of the earliest pricing data available, which was early 2011, and contains pretty much all of the important data points we need to just ask the question, are we really mid-cycle in Bitcoin right now? So right now, the popular theory exists that, well, this is basically in the Bitcoin space and all the proponents of Bitcoin. Now, before I get into this, guys, please do not shoot the messenger on this. I am trying to look at Bitcoin as objectively as I possibly can. I love Bitcoin. I love crypto as much as all of you do. I just really want to take an objective look because there is so much hype in this space. You know, when the price starts getting up, I just want to kind of look at this objectively and see is the prevailing opinion that we are indeed mid-cycle in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to shoot up from here to at the end of the year to a minimum of 160,000 and more than likely between 300 and 400,000. So the theory goes that the halvening every 4 years causes a shock in the supply of Bitcoin. So they call that the 4-year cycle, and after each 4-year cycle there starts a period of accumulation where we go to all-time highs, and they call this basically a cycle. So we had one in the 2017, and then that top around late 2017, early 2018. This was one of the key cycles that they're looking back in history to get, and then the other one obviously is the 2013 cycle, which started sometime here in beginning of 2013 and topped in December of 2013. So basically there are two main cycles everybody's looking at to determine what they call this 4-year cycle, and it just happens they've aligned so far pretty nicely with the halvening, right? That supposedly sets off a shock of supply in the market, and that's when Bitcoin starts going up. And then this would be the in here starting in late 2020, early 2021 would be the start of what people are saying is the third, right? The third Bitcoin cycle. So what they're saying right now is that Bitcoin currently right now is only midway in the third cycle, and we are destined to shoot right back up from here, and by the end of the year we're going to see prices not only in excess of the all-time highs back here in April 21, but we are going to see a target of minimum 160,000. This is an absolute minimum target, but more than likely the target is going to be somewhere up here between 300 and 400,000. And they're going back and they're using data points to support the argument. And again, one of those biggest arguments is the 4-year cycle, and how the last 2 cycles have given gains. They started at the halvening and then kind of calculated up. And the reason that people believe that this is not the top of this cycle is that they say, well, there's been no blow off top and the cycle's not long enough yet. But okay, so objectively, I just want to say that from what I've seen in the Bitcoin space, kind of the 4-year cycle thing was a little bit of a secret in the crypto space up until we started having this momentous run in Bitcoin at the beginning of this year. And then that sort of crept into the public awareness more and more. And you could see that people were really planning on this 4-year cycle. And it was, there were so many YouTube channels out there, so many purveyors of Bitcoin talking about this 4-year cycle and how it was just going to go on and on and on every 4 years. It's going to be extremely easy in crypto, extremely easy in Bitcoin. All you have to do is accumulate Bitcoin right before the halvening and then just wait for between a 50 and 200x, and that was it basically, right? So my question is that really going to be what's going to happen moving forward in Bitcoin? All we have to do is just accumulate here at these prices, wait for Bitcoin to shoot up to 300,000, 10x over the next couple months, and then sell in December, January, and wait until sometime in the middle of 2024 and start accumulating again and wait for another 50 to 100x from there. Now, I really wish that markets were that clear-cut and that simple. I know there's lots of data points that their argument goes behind, the halvening and a lot of things involved in the long-term cycles that they're pointing to in crypto and Bitcoin. Yes, the money supply is going crazy right now. Yes, the economy to a certain extent is still in a lot of trouble. But is all this going to play out to consistently give us 50 to 200x Bitcoin every 4 years for the next 10 years? I don't know. I am not so certain that that's going to be what's in store for Bitcoin. Guys, if you've been following markets any period of time, they definitely, to a certain extent, do like to rhyme, but they don't really like to repeat that often. And when there becomes a mass awareness in what people think is going to happen, it usually does pretty much the opposite of what the general public and most people are thinking is going to happen. And from what I've seen, there is a massive awareness in the public right now of this 4-year cycle, which happens before the halvening. Everyone's aware of it. So is Bitcoin just going to be easy money where you just accumulate before the halvening and 50 to 200x every year until 2034, 2038? I really don't think that crypto and Bitcoin is going to be that simple. And I'm just seeing a lot more difficulty in the space moving forward than just accumulating and selling. Selling every 4 years and then reaccumulating 4 years after that and 200xing your money. I just wish it was going to be that easy, but just let me bring in this chart of BLX. Okay, so the argument goes that right now we are mid-cycle. And let me go back here. This is a chart that I use very, very effectively in equities, stock market. I think, big stocks, the QQQs, Apple, Google, any equity you could name. I use this very effectively to kind of determine what's happening currently as far as momentum building or waning in a stock. Okay, and so we'll start with the 2017 cycle. This is the point that they were calling as the midpoint here in 2017. You can see clearly here around September, and we had a major correction in prices from, let's see, from 2nd of September 2017, and then just nosedived in, I think, about 40. Let me get an exact percentage here. Just bring that ruler out and get this a little more clearly. Yeah, I have a correction of about 40%, okay? And that's what they're calling the midpoint in crypto. So this is what everybody believes is about to happen right now in crypto. So theoretically, we are here and we are just waiting for this, right? We're waiting for this. We are waiting here patiently for a, let's get a percentage on that, between 5 and 10x from where prices are at currently, 32,800. So that would take us up to around 200,000 to 300,000 Bitcoin. So that's what they're saying is going to happen. So you can clearly see that here, mid-cycle dip on the momentum chart, and then that's nicely carried up to the top in December 17th. Okay, so you can clearly see that here. That was the second major cycle, which was in 2017. Let's go back to the cycle previous to that, which was the 2013 cycle. And people are saying that this 2013 cycle was a much more clear two-wave cycle, and this would have been again the midpoint here in April 2013, where we had a major correction. Again, let's look in here. This had to have been a fairly large correction as well. Yeah, the first one like an 80% correction, right? So just a massive correction here, and then prices just continued up, and then we got this really nice from these levels. Let's see, bring the ruler out one more time. From the bottom, approximately a 10x, right, from this bottom and this blow-off mid-cycle. So people are looking for between a 5 and 10x from here to happen within the next few months. By the end of the year, Bitcoin at 300,000. Okay, so as you can see here, again, I'm just trying to look at this completely objectively and trying to say, okay, this 4-year cycle is so in the public consciousness right now. Everybody in the crypto space has become aware of it. Is it going to really become this simple to just accumulate? I know I've said it, but just to kind of reiterate, is it going to be this simple for the next 10, 15, 20 years? Every 4 years, you 200x your money. I don't know. I wish that were to be the case, but the evidence from what I'm seeing here on the momentum is not indicating that that is even remotely what's going to happen right now. And things may have shifted and may have changed here on this latest top here in May in Bitcoin, and we'll go into that in a second. But looking at our momentum chart on the 1 day, you can see here the mid-cycle point in 2013. We still had a nice positive divergent bottom and retracted, and then on the midpoint cycle had a nice area of positive divergent, higher highs, higher lows, and all of this operating well above the zero line of momentum, and really broke out here again in October, just a few months later, and from there got this momentous, like we showed a minute ago, 10x over the next couple months in Bitcoin, all the way up to $756. So again, evidence point number one on what happened before. All of this momentum happening in a very positive zone. Even after this correction, you could clearly see you had this positive divergent bottom right around here in early July 2013, and from there prices just continued to carry up beautifully from there. Okay, and then we had this big area of a bear correction in 2014 leading to 2015, which led us obviously to this massive zone of positive momentum, which led us to our 2017 bull cycle. Again, the majority of this buildup of prices from 300, 400, all the way up to the blow-off top in late 2017 of everybody is probably aware of, right around $20,000, a little bit under that. But all of this happening very, very much in a zone of extremely positive momentum. All of this, again, happening above the zero line. All these nice series of higher highs, higher lows, but you can see Bitcoin, yes, it's been tremendous, absolutely the best on the planet over the last 10 years as far as returns, but you can see it takes time to develop these series of higher highs and higher lows and build up of momentum until you get these massive peaks and blow off tops, right? And again, the argument is that what we had here in let me just go back here and just look at current price action in March 2021 was not a blow-off top, so it cannot possibly be the end of the bull market and the bull run, okay? But to me, just quickly before we get to it, I don't know if you don't call this a blow-off top in momentum. I'm not sure exactly what you call it. I am seeing in this run-up plenty of vertical price action similar to what we had in 2017. You look at this price action between December 2020 and January 21, and then again, I mean, if this isn't vertical price action, I don't know what is here. 26th of January to 24th of February, and then I'd just say that we had these two areas of blow-off price action, and then it just took a while here for this momentum to wane, and then just had this nasty surprise that really surprised the hell out of most people in the market, just dropped to levels where we are currently. But going back to this price action and this momentum indicator in 2017, so the evidence so far is that every single one of these massive quote-unquote mid-cycle runs has come with a not only having us well above the zero line in momentum, but a nice, beautiful, positive divergent bottom. This is the mid-cycle of the 2017 from September. I showed this already, a price correction of about 44%, and then over the next few months had this huge, massive run-up, I think 5 or 6x over the next couple of months. So do the charts in 2017 and what happened here in 2013. Is what's happening now have any resemblance whatsoever to these nice positive divergent bottoms that we were able to get in 2013 and 2017? Or is what we are seeing now something very, very different? So let's go to the chart now and see what's happening here in July of 2021. Okay, so the past cycles never on the momentum never ever went below the previous point where you were able to start the bull run, which I would argue was here in October and December of 2020. Never once did you ever break this momentum line of the start of the bull run, and more often than not, we were able to reclaim some very positive divergent bottoms. To me, the most likely scenario, if we were able to start the next bull run up, would have been a positive divergent bottom somewhere in this area here in May of this year, which was where a lot of people were starting to call, okay, well, we're getting set for massive move to the upside in crypto. And at that point, it really would have made a lot of sense if we were to head up here to, you know, Bitcoin 100,000, 140,000, 300,000. This is the point to me where that would have been most likely. But instead, you can see here, instead of continuing up like we were able to do in the other bull runs, momentum just completely nosedived. Okay, not only breaking these this momentum line here at around 15,000, but clearly breaking the start of the bull market momentum run in positive territory at around 600. And right now, we have broken down to such a degree in the momentum. You can see here we are at levels of momentum that we have never ever seen before in Bitcoin. We are at such a bottom, nasty, awful, negative territory in the momentum of Bitcoin. We are below the December 2018. This, of course, was the area where Bitcoin bottomed at 3,000, right? As far as momentum goes, we are below that right now and breaking lower, okay? So this is my basic objective look at Bitcoin right now. Are we zooming up from here at the end of the year to 300,000 Bitcoin? Are we mid-cycle right now? From what I've seen, the evidence I'm looking at as objectively as I possibly can in the charts, in the public awareness of the 4-hour cycle, are we going from these areas and shooting up back up to 300,000 Bitcoin in another 3 months? I'm not seeing any evidence of that right now, personally. I'm not seeing any evidence right now of 100,000 Bitcoin, let alone back to these highs at 64,000. I don't know if that's in the cards by the end of the year. I really, really hope it is. But again, I need to see some evidence. And this is just a very unfortunate and very ugly pattern that's developing right here in Bitcoin. We haven't even broken this downtrend resistance, which was the start of the waning momentum here in April, and then this nasty blow-off top here in May, and just then, since then, has been creeping down and down and lower, and we have broken even this, zoom in here, this low momentum bottom here in June, and appear to be headed lower. So to me, this momentum setup looks absolutely nothing like these mid-cycle moves that we had back here in September of 2017, and then back here also in August, September of 2013. The alignment of momentum looks absolutely nothing like what it did back then. To me, almost it was something that like this would have been mid-cycle here back in July 2019, and then we got that huge blow-off, longer period of time, bottomed here at the COVID lows and then back up. I don't know, but to me this would more resemble what happened in earlier 2013, got this blow-off and then back to a cycle top towards the end of 2013. But again, guys, 100% looking at this objectively, I don't see any evidence at all, not only that we are mid-cycle and ready to 10x from here, I don't know for sure that we aren't going lower. This is just a pretty nasty, pretty ugly alignment of momentum here, and I think personally it's going to take some time to repair the extreme technical damage that has occurred in Bitcoin over the last couple of months. And yeah, so that's basically everything I have to say. I just want people to look at the whole picture in Bitcoin and not just look at all the hype channels. And yeah, we're mid-cycle. this guy told me, that guy told me, we're ready to 10x, we're ready to 20x, we're 100xing from here in the next couple of years. I don't know. I hope we are. I'm a holder of Bitcoin like you guys are. I'm hoping for the best on Bitcoin over not only the next year, but the next 5-10 years. But looking at this, I think we have a lot of technical damage that we need to undo. And to me, in order to even start the repair process in Bitcoin and start getting a series of higher lows over the next couple months and couple years, whatever it's going to take for us to repair this technical damage, we need to start that by getting above this zero line. And as of now, we are not even close to that, and we are well below that, still developing a series of lower lows, which just does not look that great to me. Guys, that is my objective, somewhat, I know, potentially discouraging view on Bitcoin. I didn't mean for it to be discouraging. My long-term outlook on crypto and Bitcoin space is very, very bright. I just want people to be aware that we may possibly be in for a longer term of consolidation and bearish action in Bitcoin and crypto than people are expecting. And this is not the only chart in crypto that looks like this, with momentum just at all-time lows. Pretty much from what I'm seeing, every chart, you know, Dogecoin, Ethereum, all your popular cryptos, ADA, Litecoin, they all look pretty much the same, with just this massive and destructive hit to the momentum, and momentum at a low under what we've seen at any point in the near-term future. So again, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you like this somewhat possibly sobering look at Bitcoin and the outlook of the crypto space for the next few months, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be planning on doing an update on this very BLX chart at least once a week, if not more, kind of watching to see if we can get some repair in these zones and momentum shift back to the upside in Bitcoin. Again, subscribe to the channel to make sure you see all the updates on Bitcoin, crypto, all your favorite stocks, everything financial, doing big updates on a daily basis right now. And for sure, like I said, at least once, twice a week on the BLX. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, again, a little bit of a sobering look here, but it's what I try to do, is just to give evidence looking forward on the charts on exactly what I'm seeing, and I don't fall into any belief system. I've been burned so many times in the past by just you know, believing what I see out there from, you know, paid services, videos, different gurus, this and that. So I always try to look at my own evidence and try to compile as much of my own evidence as I can when looking at investments. I want you to do the same. Start developing your own system at looking at things as objectively as you possibly can, and not just what you hope is going to happen with your investments. Thank you so much, and talk to you again shortly in the next video. Again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.